Once upon a time, deep inside a lush, vibrant green forest, where sunlight dappled through the leaves and the air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers, lived a very special panda. His name was Paco. Now, Paco was adored by everyone. He was round, fluffy, and had the most charming smile. But Paco had one teeny tiny, yet very big problem. He was, without a doubt, the laziest panda in the entire forest. Every single morning, as the first rays of sun kissed the treetops, the forest would come alive with a symphony of activity. The squirrels, with their bushy tails twitching, would scamper up and down trees, their cheeks puffed with nuts. The rabbits, with their long ears alert, would hop through the meadows, gathering delicious, crunchy carrots. The birds would chirp their morning songs as they diligently searched for worms and seeds for their families. Everyone had a purpose, a job to do. Everyone except Paco. When his friends would call out, "Paco, it's a beautiful day. Let's go find some tasty bamboo." What do you think Paco would say? He'd let out a big, long, theatrical yawn, stretch his fluffy arms, and mumble his favorite phrase,
I'll start working tomorrow. And with that, he'd roll over and drift back to sleep, dreaming of mountains of bamboo he didn't have to collect.
One sunny afternoon, Paco's best friend, a very energetic and responsible rabbit named Rocky, came hopping over to Paco's favorite napping spot under a giant bamboo stalk. Paco, wake up!" Rocky nudged him gently. Paco blinked one eye open. "Rocky? What's the rush?" Rocky's nose twitched with concern. "Paco, don't you feel that chill in the air? Winter is coming. It's coming fast. We all need to collect extra food to last us through the cold months. You need to start gathering bamboo now." Paco just stretched his legs, let out another mighty yawn, and gave Rocky a lazy smile. "Relax, my friend. Look around. There's bamboo everywhere. There is plenty of time." He patted his round belly. "I'll get to it. Eventually." Rocky looked genuinely worried. He stamped his foot. "But Paco, tomorrow might be too late. What if an early snow comes? You can't just wish for food to appear." But his words were lost on Paco, who had already closed his eyes, his soft snores echoing through the clearing. Rocky sighed and hopped away, shaking his head. Later that week, while Paco was lounging about, he noticed a tiny ant, so small he almost missed it, marching with great determination. The ant was carrying a breadcrumb that was at least 3 times its size. It was a struggle, but the little ant pushed forward, step by tiny step. Paco, amused by the spectacle, chuckled. He called down from his comfy spot, "Hey, little guy, why work so hard on such a sunny day? You're so small, and that crumb is so big. Just take a break." The ant paused for a moment, carefully setting down its precious cargo. He looked up at the giant panda and replied in a calm, steady voice, "Greetings, Paco. It is true, I am small, and this crumb is a small piece of food.
But small work done every day adds up. Many small crumbs will feed my whole family for the entire winter. Small work every day becomes big success." Paco just laughed again, a deep, rumbling laugh that shook his belly. "That's a nice thought. Little ant, a very nice thought. I'll think about it. Tomorrow." He waved a lazy paw and went back to his nap, as the ant picked up its crumb and continued its long journey home.
Days turned into weeks. The bright green leaves of the forest turned to brilliant shades of gold, orange, and red, and then began to fall, blanketing the ground in a crunchy carpet. The air grew colder each day, and then one morning, Paco woke up not to the warm sun, but to a strange, quiet world. He blinked. Everything was white, snow. Thick, beautiful, silent snow had begun to fall, covering everything in a soft, cold blanket. The forest, once bustling with life, was now eerily quiet. All the other animals were snug in their homes, their pantries full of nuts, carrots, and seeds. They were warm, safe, and well-fed, but Paco had nothing. His stomach let out a loud rumbling growl that echoed in the silence. It wasn't a happy rumble. It was a hungry growl. "Oh no," he whispered to himself, a cloud of steam puffing from his mouth. "Oh no, I should have worked earlier." Rocky was right. Panic began to set in. Paco started searching everywhere for food. He dug at the ground with his paws, but it was frozen solid under the thick layer of snow. He pushed through snowdrifts, looking for any sign of green bamboo shoots or forgotten fruits. But there was nothing. The world was just white and cold. No bamboo. No fruits. Absolutely no food. He grew weaker and weaker. The cold seeped into his bones, and a deep sadness filled his heart. He slumped down at the base of a snow-covered tree. "I wish I had listened to my friends," he sobbed, the words catching in his throat. "I wish I hadn't been so lazy." Big, fat tears rolled down his furry cheeks and froze on his fur. He had never felt so alone and so full of regret. Just then, as he was about to give up all hope, a familiar tiny voice called out, "Paco? Why are you crying?" Paco looked down, his vision blurred by tears. It was the tiny ant, wearing a little leaf coat to keep warm. Paco, ashamed and miserable, explained everything. He told the ant about his laziness, his empty belly, and his deep regret. He expected the ant to say, "I told you so," but the ant didn't. Instead, it smiled a kind, encouraging smile. "Paco," the ant said gently, "it's never too late to change. Feeling sorry for yourself won't fill your stomach, but action will." With newfound energy, the ant scurried over to a large mound of snow. "I remember seeing a small, hidden patch of young bamboo right here before the snow fell. It's protected from the wind. If we dig together, we can find it." A spark of hope ignited in Paco's heart. Together, the giant panda and the tiny ant started digging. Paco worked harder than he ever had in his entire life. He pushed away huge piles of snow with his powerful paws, while the ant cleared away the smaller, more delicate bits. It was hard, cold work. His muscles ached, but he didn't stop. Slowly, but surely, a flash of green appeared under the snow. It was bamboo! Fresh, tender bamboo shoots. Paco let out a cry of joy. He happily munched on the bamboo, the taste more delicious than any food he had ever eaten before. He looked at his tiny friend with immense gratitude. "Thank you, little ant. Thank you. You saved me." The ant simply nodded. "We saved you, Paco. You did the work." Winter was long and hard, but Paco and the ant worked together every day to uncover enough food to survive. And when the snow finally melted and spring returned to the forest, something truly surprising happened. Paco didn't go back to his old ways. When the first bird sang its morning song, Paco was already awake. He was up, collecting the freshest bamboo shoots. He didn't just collect for himself, he gathered extra to share. He helped the squirrels rebuild a nest that had been damaged in a storm. He helped Rocky clear a path to a new carrot patch. The other animals watched in amazement. They would whisper to each other, Is that really Paco? The same lazy panda?" It was. But he was changed. Paco, the laziest panda in the forest, had become the hardest working, most helpful animal around. And from that day forward, Paco never, ever said, "I'll start tomorrow again." If anyone asked him when was a good time to get something done, Paco would smile his big, charming smile and say,
Today is the best day to begin."
And that is the story of the lazy panda who learned that the greatest rewards come from the work you do today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed Paco's story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing tales. We'll see you in the next video.